This is your WITN Morning News Update on 103.7 WTIB and 94.1 WNBU.
54 degrees at 7:05. Good morning. I'm Trent McGee with your Talk of the Town news headlines for this Wednesday morning, October the 12th. Pitt County emergency management officials are preparing for the worst of the flooding in the aftermath of Hurricane Matthew as the Tar River is expected to crest Friday. The most recent levels show the Tar River at 23 feet as early as this morning. The National Weather Service expected to crest at 25 feet sometime later in the day Friday. County emergency management leaders say this will essentially separate the northern and southern parts of the county, so they've called in additional resources, including military vehicles. North Carolina Governor Pat McCrory and North Carolina emergency management officials will provide an update on Hurricane Matthew's impact on North Carolina. The briefing will be held at 9 a.m. today. You can watch it live on WITN.com. The governor continues to reiterate that residents should heed the advice of government leaders who are telling them not to try to drive through floodwaters. He is also warning people not to drive around barricades and to obey instructions from all authorities. Hotels in Greenville have filled up quickly after many residents were forced to evacuate. At last check, only about 12 hotels in the area still have some availability. You can check WITN.com on that availability. City officials are encouraging residents with pets to call the hotel first to check on their pet policy before arriving to make a reservation. North Carolina Department of Transportation officials closed all lanes of Highway 11 in Grifton Wednesday morning due to flooding of Contentnia Creek. Pitt County leaders are urging drivers to stay off the roadways if possible. The Neuse River is expected to crest this weekend, which means Grifton will likely continue to flood. And that's something to keep an eye out for through today all the way through Friday. Pitt County has a curfew in place that began Tuesday night at 7 o'clock all the way to 7 a.m. this morning, so it's just recently lifted. And for more information on those curfews and road closures, check out WITN.com. You're now up to date at 7:07. We're good. Billy Weaver's in the house. He'll have some news updates coming up later on this hour, but right now your weather forecast clear and slightly below average in the low 70s for today. For tonight, clear and cool with temperatures in the lower 50s. For your Thursday, clear and warm with highs in the middle 70s. For your Friday, 75 degrees for the high, partly sunny skies with a very chilly low. Friday night, right around 50 degrees, and the weekend looking good as we continue to keep an eye on that Tar River. 72 and 74 degrees for the high both Saturday and Sunday. Right now, 54 degrees in Greenville, 61 in New Bern. Talk of the Town Wednesday rolls on after this. The time is 7:08.
North Carolina's truck headquarters is
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep. We have over 100 new Rams in stock. That's the largest in Eastern North Carolina.
If you're in the market for a new truck, now is the time. Ram Power Days are going on now through October 31st. Buy now and get 20% off MSRP on select Ram trucks.
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep. Across from the Cracker Barrel in Greenville.
Every wireless provider has towers in the city, but US Cellular put towers in places the other guys didn't. So you can video chat at your secret fishing spot or stream way out here. Because US Cellular thinks you deserve a signal that works wherever you are. US Cellular, a stronger signal in the middle of anywhere.
Visit Real Wireless, your local US Cellular authorized agent in Ahoskie, Williamston, and Windsor for the best deals in wireless and great service on a network that works in the middle of anywhere.
There's a new car dealership in Washington, and you've got to see the all-new Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram located on Highway 264. I'm Matthew Sessons, General Manager at the new Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We're proud to provide Eastern North Carolina with a state-of-the-art facility, a huge selection of new cars and trucks, and a reliable service department.
Stop in to see us for Ram Power Days and get 20% off select Ram trucks at the all-new Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and WashingtonChrysler.com.
My prescription refills.
My son's shot records.
My doctor's appointments.
My lab results.
My parents' care.
My chart.
Vidant My Chart.
Vidant MyChart is the secure online patient portal that lets you manage your health your way. Visit VidantMyChart.com or call 1-855-MyVidant to learn how you can sign up.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and workweek daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit topdogonline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs.
To Talk of the Town with Henry Hinton.
Everyone, why are we all standing around? Let's go.
News, weather, sports, and of course, all the local info you need to start your day.
You read my news.
This is Talk of the Town with Henry Hinton.
Please tell me this is some kind of sick, tasteless joke.
On 103.7 WTIB, 94.1 WNBU, Cable 7 in Greenville, and now listen or watch live at WTIBFM.com. Now here's your host for Talk of the Town.
I thought you were kidding!
Henry Hinton.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Talk of the Town. It is Wednesday morning, the 12th day of October. I'm running late. I got here late, and I'm not ready. Billy Weaver was late. Everybody was late. Yeah. I had all this stuff planned to open the show, and my computer not working. It's my fault. I didn't get here in time. We'll make it a great show anyway because we're good enough.
We're smart
enough. And doggone it, people like us. And I got a tie on this morning. I'm looking.
Smile.
Looking into the monitor
Smile.
there. Yeah. All right. The flooding continues. In fact, today, did I see that they're talking about the crest of the Tar not being until Thursday now?
Friday.
What?
Friday. 25.2 feet on Friday.
Taking longer for the water to get downstream, I guess.
Yeah.
Than they
because
thought.
Cresting today is the Tar River up in the Tarboro area.
I have to go to meetings in Raleigh and Chapel Hill today, and I was counting on Michael being here to tell me that, yeah, I drove in from Wilson on 264 and everything's fine, and he's not here. I mean, Mark, I love you, but, you know, can you drive up to Wilson and see how the roads are before I
Patrick says they're good.
Patrick, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I'm looking into the control room. Hang on a second.
Yeah, there should be a proper introduction.
I'm looking into the control room, and I see Michael's not here. So Rizzo is producing for radio and producing for cable television. Mudflap has arrived.
That's right. It's
Mudflap
is Henry. It's the good old days.
It is the good old days.
Glad to be back.
Pat Mudflap Jones live in the control. What? So you got called into duty today?
Yeah, students were not coming in.
I would say
I was a last resort.
I would say second team, but I mean you're in management. You're our production manager.
Henry,
so.
do you not know this by now? I do it all.
You do it all, baby.
I do it all.
You do it. You do everything on 94.3 The Game. You do our commercial production. You do it all.
That's right.
You're unbelievable.
I'm here where I'm needed.
How can one man be expected to do so much? How do you know that 264 is open? Did you come down there?
I asked Michael about it yesterday. He said, "Oh, it's fine."
But yesterday was yesterday. The water's still rising. That's what I need to know. I need to know I can
apparently not in that area.
Well, they haven't closed. They haven't closed any portion of those roads, so you should be fine.
Well, they had closed some. What are you talking about? 264 was closed.
Going to Wilson from here?
Yes. Have you been on the show all week, or what have you been doing?
What parts?
Well, around Contentia Creek, and there was the part up there around what they call the Bill Ellis Lake.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did talk about that. Yep. Yeah, that's right.
And
around
there, you know, I know that I got a email this morning from Farrell Blunt from the vice chairman of the Department of Transportation saying that the bridges are likely to close here in Greenville today. So,
yeah, they were open as of last night.
Yeah.
Late last night.
But the water's still rising.
Which bridges are you talking about?
Well, we talked about them yesterday. The Hastings Ford Bridge, what is known as the Hastings Ford Bridge.
Well, I was at WITN before coming over here, and Alan Thomas was on the show live as I was in the studio preparing to come here. And he said, as of now, they're not planning on closing those bridges.
Oh, my goodness. Michael has texted me. What a great guy. He's listening on his day off.
That's a shock.
He had some family issues to deal with today, but he says He just texted me and said 264 is clear all the way to Raleigh. Michael, you're the best. Now, Michael, did you hear that from somebody, or did you drive to Raleigh this morning? I also got a nasty text from David Hollinger, which I think was totally inappropriate. I don't need that. I don't need that scrutiny from you, Hollinger.
Let's hear it.
I can't. It's got a bad word in it.
Oh.
There are several things going on today. I was Patrick Johnson at our sister station in Raleigh had sent me some cuts to play from the debate last night, and I can't get my computer to work so I can play them. John Hood from the Pope Foundation is going to be on, and after the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:20 or so, we're going to call him, Mark, and we're going to get his take on the debate last night. Did you guys watch it?
Yeah, I watched about 20, 25 minutes of that debate. I thought it was fiery. I mean, they went back and forth. There were some shots taken last night.
Yeah. I thought. If you watch the debate, and of course, I realize that it's very hard for anyone to be objective. It's very hard for me to be objective because Governor McCrory is a good friend, and I've been on his committee and those kind of things, and so I know that I'm not objective, but this is what I saw last night, and I'd love to hear what other people think. We'll open up the phone lines at 561-8255, and you tell me what you think. I saw Cooper. I thought Cooper was over-rehearsed. You hear about debate prep. I almost think that McCrory is better off the cuff. But you can only do that. You can only be better off the cuff if you have total command of the issues. And I thought that the governor last night had total command of the issues.
Yeah, I thought Pat McCrory seemed much more in control.
He didn't seem rehearsed. What he was saying didn't seem contrived, as is always the case with the governor. It was top of mind thought process, but very astute on the issues. I thought he had total command of the issues. Meanwhile, it almost looked like Cooper had been trained, and he had rehearsed over and over again what was going to be said, like he had been in debate prep where somebody said, okay, now when they say this is what you say. And so after a while, he almost sounded robotic. The governor would come back and hit him with something pretty hard, and his only response to that was, here again is an example of the governor not telling the truth and distorting his own record. I mean, how many times did we hear that last night? And, if Cooper would say HB2, 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 you could almost see that his handlers, his consultants had said, stick to HB2. Hammer him with HB2. So no matter what the issue was, he kept coming back to HB2. But I really felt like Governor McCrory stuck it to him even on that issue. He was like, look, you and the mayor of Charlotte started HB2, and you did it for political reasons. And here's the thing. Cooper never denied that. He never denied that he had been in contact with Jennifer Roberts in Charlotte to get the Charlotte ordinance started. And McCrory pointed out, he says, look, he's not denying it. He's not denying that he did it.
It looked like to me that the entire time Cooper played from behind. It really did.
But
it's never really closed the gap in that debate.
It's like the same old. It's the stuff from the same old playbook from 1978. It's the Jim Hunt playbook, which is Republicans hate education. Republicans hate school teachers. I mean, and I don't know how much more this governor could have done. When he took over as governor, the state, they had actually, Purdue had actually embargoed teacher pay. She had not given raises in something like 5-6 years, and they tried to pin that on the governor, as you know, for the first 2 years. And then all of a sudden, the legislature and the governor, they came out with these huge pay raises for teachers. But it doesn't make any difference to Cooper. It's like it doesn't make any difference whether it's true or not. I'm going to say it, and it's the same old Democratic Party mantra that just seems to be so tired to me that Republicans hate education, Republicans don't do enough for school teachers, and you're giving tax breaks to the wealthy and you're screwing the middle class. I mean, it's stuff they were saying in the 70s. And I mean, you have to look at the record of what's happened in the state since McCrory's been governor, and all that stuff is a bunch of lies. They're just a bunch of lies. What do you think? 561-8255, 252-561-8255. Who won the debate last night? What points did you like? What points did you not like? Did you change your mind about anything last night? Let's start off our phone calls down in Jacksonville. Alan, you're up. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Henry.
Yeah.
I thought McCrory. I couldn't watch for so long because Cooper was just making me nauseated. Literally, I could feel my blood pressure rising because he's just like Hillary Clinton from the standpoint. I mean, you could have video evidence and then of something, and he would say that's just not true. I mean, I thought McCrory got a real good point in on him when he said, "You're going to San Francisco to raise money from these groups. You're going to New York to raise money from these people in these areas are not worried about middle class in North Carolina. Why are you going to these meetings?"
I thought that was a great response by the governor.
They don't care about middle class in North Carolina. He says, "So what are you doing in these meetings, or why are you going to these people to get this money?"
Yeah.
He said, "And you the one ran the commercials that you don't want to run this on social issues, and yet that's all you talk about."
Alan, this is what I got the feeling watching Cooper. I tweeted this last night. When you're in front of, this is going to be the only statewide debate. I think they've agreed to do one on WRAL television, which I can't understand why McCrory would agree to do one with Laura Leslie and Ron Burgundy. What's his name? Crabtree.
David Crabtree.
I can't understand why he would agree to do that, because it's going to be 3-on-1 with that. But when you do a debate, and this was the only statewide debate televised that's going to be done in this race, it's an opportunity for you to present your vision and your plan for the state and how you see making the state better. I didn't hear one thing from Roy Cooper last night about any of that. All I heard was an anti-McCrory slam down. It's just like, Cooper didn't tell us what he was going to do to raise teacher pay. How are you going to pay for it, Roy? How are you going to pay for it? And I thought the governor made a great point. And here's the other thing. When McCrory caught him in a lie when he said, this thing was making the rounds around the internet yesterday because of the hurricane. Some Democratic strategist somewhere said, oh, this would be something good to hit the governor on right now. So they were putting out all over the internet that the governor had taken $500 million out of the rainy day fund away from disaster relief to defend HB2 and pay for lawyers for HB2. And the governor said, I didn't do it. It's not true. That's a lie. And then Cooper came back and said, well, you could have because the legislature appropriated it. And McCrory's response to that was, well, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. He said, well, then you should have vetoed the bill. You should have vetoed the bill. I thought McCrory missed an opportunity right there to say, look, I'm not going to use that money because we, obviously right now we need that money for disaster relief. However, the reason the legislature had to appropriate extra money for legal fees is because you aren't doing your job.
Right. Well, two other points I thought were great was when McCrory's like, how many of you in your own, he said, Roy Cooper is saying we are saving too much money. How many of you in your own household has ever said, we're just saving too much money?
Oh, yeah. I thought the governor made a great point on that when he said, what would people think if I said to people, don't save your money, go ahead and spend it all, which is what Roy Cooper said that we should do right now. Yeah, wow. Anyway, so you saw it clearly as a McCrory victory?
Oh, well, I did, and like you just said, Cooper didn't. All he did was just the only things that could come out of his mouth were just anti-McCrory comments. It was no plan of his own. I thought his answer was terrible, and I thought McCrory let him off the hook because he didn't make him answer the Caitlyn Jenner question. Cooper danced around it, and then McCoy started talking before Chuck Todd could make Roy Cooper actually answer the question of which bathroom should Caitlyn Jenner go in.
Yeah. By the way, what do you think? What do you think of Chuck Todd as the moderator?
Must have been This must be an important race for a national guy to come down here.
Well,
and
I can tell you a little bit about that. I mean, I'm on that committee. I'm on the North Carolina Association of Broadcasters Board of Directors, and of course, our group did that debate last night. And there was a lot of discussion about whether, but and of course, it's not unusual. If you remember, we've always brought in national news people from the networks to do these things. We had George Stephanopoulos 2 years ago when we had the Tom Tillis race. We brought in Nora O'Donnell from CBS, and so it was kind of NBC's turn to bring in their person to North Carolina, but. I have to tell you that I thought Chuck Todd. I know I saw a lot of negatives about him on social media last night. People thought that he was too tough on McCrory or too tough on Cooper. I actually thought he did a really good job. And keep in mind, he did not choose the questions, but he did a great job of allowing each candidate extra time to respond to attacks. And I felt like that format worked really well because they if someone attacked the other person, they had another 30 seconds to respond. And I like that format. I thought that was very good, and I thought that his follow-up questions were very good as well. The questions, by the way, were chosen by the radio and television news directors of the state of North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought it flowed pretty well.
Yeah.
It seemed to flow better than the presidential debates, where the moderators somehow think they're the star of the show. But one other thing with Cooper, which really disgusted me, when they asked him, Chuck Todd asked him, why won't you enforce the HB2 law that they've put into effect? And he said, well, I told the governor not to put that. I feel it's unconstitutional. I told the governor not to do it. I told the legislature not to do it, and they decided to do it anyway. And I'm like, when did the Attorney General, I thought.
Yeah, he's a law enforcement agency. He's not a legislator.
Right. When did he become the one that had power over them?
Yeah, and I thought the way the question was worded was exactly right. When he said, as Attorney General, should you be able to pick and choose the laws that you want to defend? And if that's the case, shouldn't the people of North Carolina then pick and choose the laws that they want to follow? I thought that was a good question. I thought it was a very, very well worded. All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate that call, Alan. Right, nice to hear from you down in Jacksonville this morning. 561-8255, 561-TALK, 561-8255 if you want to get in. Some emergency information to share with you, and some thoughts about what's happened in the last few days and the fact that we're still, and coming in the next few days, there's some people doing some really good work in the community. My daughter-in-law is heavily involved in the Greenville Women's Group. Looking for the text here. It's the JWA, the Junior Women's Association of Pitt County, and yesterday they collected from the community and packed up things like here's the list: 106 games for kids, 75 formula packets, 251 comfort kits, 1,008 toothbrushes, 413 toothpaste tubes, 3,100 bottles of water, 400 Greenville utility care packages. That was nice, wasn't it, that they put together some stuff for the linemen and the guys working at Greenville Utilities? 2,500 feminine products, 5,400 food items, 6,800 diapers, 29,000 baby wipes, 18 bags of clothes, 1,592 juice boxes, 158 baby items, and the list continues to grow.
Yeah, the community's come together, and you can't say enough about the entire community and groups for what they've done, helping out with Cypress Glen, those things, the JWA. People are just rallying together, and it's really great to see. the shelters that are coming together, and the people bringing things in, the churches. It's phenomenal, and it's needed.
Yeah. Let's see. I have another thing that I wanted to mention. There's an emergency food drive underway right now that's going to be taking place today, starting at 9 o'clock this morning at 713 Albemarle Avenue. This is being put together by Pastor Rodney Coles and some other members of the Churches Outreach Network. Reverend Coles has put this together. In fact, I tried to contact Reverend Coles last night to see if he wanted to come on and promote this. They are asking for people to bring bags or boxes and bring food to 713 Albemarle Avenue, the African-American community. It's a big food drive today starting at 9 a.m., an emergency food drive for those folks who have been displaced. And I don't want to diminish any of this in any way, but I do believe that, Tony Canna was on Monday morning, and he made a good point. I said, what's different about this and 99? And he said, well, we're more prepared. Everyone's more prepared, and they believe it could happen. Don't you think that's true? That people, I think in 99, they stayed in their homes. They didn't really think they were going to get flooded, even though the warnings came. I remember vividly on the radio one morning, the city manager of Greenville, who was my neighbor and friend, Ron Kimball at that time, who is, by the way, the city manager of Charlotte now. And boy, has he had some stuff to deal with this year. But Ron was the city manager here in Greenville, and I remember him coming in the studio and begging people to leave their homes. But they still didn't leave their homes. And as a result, we had big problems in 99. It seems to me the difference this time is that people actually realize what is coming, and so they're leaving their homes. I hope that's true. I hope we don't find out 2 or 3 days from now that, we've got deaths because people didn't leave their homes. I know there's going to be massive. In fact, I saw this morning on WITN, Billy, I think the projection now for property damage is up to $10 billion. And it's going to continue to grow probably. But at least it seems this time around people are getting it and they're getting out, and it doesn't seem like quite the disaster that 99 was, although, we're not there yet. So I hope that I'm right about that.
Yeah, it's almost like a seeing is believing kind of thing, because a lot of times when you tell people things and you tell people that, the river's going to rise 20 feet, you can't visualize it. There are people around here, and I can remember, like you said, vividly, the days following Hurricane Floyd, how bad it got. And, so I think, without sounding contrite or whatever, it was actually a good thing that these people have lived through that kind of situation, so that when it did happen and it is happening again, that they take warning early. So I think, in a weird way, Floyd has kind of saved lives.
Yeah, you're probably right. We are expecting sunshine at 73 today, sunshine at 75 on Thursday. Unfortunately, the football game, of course, was canceled for tomorrow night. It would have been a great day, a great night for football in Greenville tomorrow night. But that's the furthest thing from anybody's mind right now, just the safety of our citizens and the burgeoning disaster that we're facing here as we transition to sports. And by the way, we are going to play our Guess the Movie clip coming up. Are you guys prepared for that in there? Can you handle that without Michael? You can? Are you sure? All right, we're going to do Guess the Movie clip. We're going to give away a $25 gift card to Texas Roadhouse. And by the way, I was joking about David Hollinger just now. David has been feeding people in shelters from Texas Roadhouse. He has been he offered to open the restaurant and cook for the Greenville Utilities guys. And I think he's opened extra hours to try to accommodate some of the linemen. I gotta send a shout out to David Hollinger and Texas Roadhouse. I know that other people have done similar things. I just happen to know about that one. And of course, I mentioned yesterday our friends down at Bellhaven at the Tavern. the Sutherlands down there that own the nice restaurant on Water Street in Bellhaven. They were open last night and fed emergency responders for free. And they were open for other people as well, which they're normally not on Tuesday night, just because they were trying to give people a place to go get a meal down in Beaufort County. So there've been a lot of folks who've done a lot of nice things. And
that's another thing. After Floyd was the same way. If you remember, I can just remember feeling after Floyd, the days following after Floyd, how proud I was to be in Eastern North Carolina for that fact that everybody stepped up. It didn't matter where you lived, where you were from. If you were not from the area and you were a transplant here, everybody pitched in, and that seems to be the case again after Matthew.
By the way, David said thank you for the kind words. He's walking in the restaurant now. He's already there this morning getting ready for probably to feed the Greenville Utilities guys. But as we transition to, and we're gonna give away that $25 gift card to Texas Roadhouse in a minute with our Guess the Movie clip. As we transition to sports, I found this interesting this morning. The Southern Conference has now said we will not move our basketball tournament out of Asheville. And the stated reason why is because the gay and lesbian community stepped up and said, why should you hurt us? This is Asheville is the most bohemian city in the South. We are the home of the gays and the lesbians. Why should you take that away from us and hurt our economy? And so the Southern Conference responded by saying, okay, we won't. And I'm thinking to myself, so all it takes is, if the gays and lesbians step up and say, don't take the ACC tournament, they wouldn't have taken it? Is that the most bizarre thing you've ever heard? So the ACC and the NCAA, they're taking, aren't there gay people in Greensboro? This whole thing is just so bizarre. It's just such a political cram down. But the LGBT community got together and actually made a statement to the Southern Conference. This would hurt the economy of Asheville to the tune of $4 million. Please don't take the Southern Conference tournament out of Asheville. And they didn't. So, again, what's going on here? What is going on here? The NCAA and the ACC, they move their stuff out saying they just can't possibly play these games in North Carolina because of discrimination. But the LGBT people come and say, but don't move anything out of Asheville because that's where we live. And the Southern Conference says, you're right, let's don't. Let's don't. You can't make that up. You can't make it up. If you don't think it's a political cram down, that will prove it right there if we never have proven it before. We already knew it. I'm surprised that didn't come up in the debate last night. 7:38. Let's get sports. Before we go to sport, have you got a Comfer story there?
Comfer?
Yeah.
No.
There was a report in a San Diego newspaper that Jeff Comfer was the leading candidate to be the athletic director at San Diego State. And I'm thinking to myself, I know San Diego is a nice place to live, but East Carolina's a more credible program than San Diego State, are we not? Am I seeing that through purple-colored glasses? It's not a Power 5 school. Mm-mm. What do they draw to their football games? 18,000? I don't. And
they're known for baseball more than anything.
I don't. I think Comfer's name continues to come up in these searches. Because and they continue. It probably will continue to.
But, I'm seeing that now. First I've seen of it. Though.
But sources are telling me that this is all speculation, and Comfer is very close friends to Todd Turner, who is one of the top consultants in the country. He's one of the guys that gets called now. Who was the old guy? Chuck? Was it Chuck Neely that Terry Holland was very close
I think
to?
So.
What was his name? Todd Turner's become the new kind of guy that these athletic directors call and say, hey, we need an athletic director. Who do you recommend? And he's very close friends with Jeff Comfer. So Jeff's name will continue to probably come up in these searches. But, Jeff, please, not San Diego State. You can get a better job than that. We don't want you to go. We don't want you to go.
You got a better job
here.
Don't
go there. Although San Diego will be, hey, if somebody called me and offered me the morning show in San Diego, my wife would say, let's go. I can't leave Greenville. I just can't. And you can't either, Comfer. 20 in front of 8. I don't think it's going to happen. 20 in front of 8. Let's
stay classy, San Diego.
Stay classy. That's right. Maybe Crabtree should move out there with Ron Burgundy.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
Here is Trent McGee with sports.
Thank you, Brick. Pitt County Schools announced Tuesday night that they will be closed all week, wiping out all athletic events scheduled for the week for the county's 6 public high schools. As of Tuesday afternoon, only 2 football teams, North Pitt and Farmville Central, were still scheduled to be played on Friday. Some NFL news. 49ers head coach Chip Kelly on Tuesday named Colin Kaepernick the starting quarterback for Sunday's game against Buffalo. The 49ers are 1-4 heading into Sunday's game. Former Panthers and Cowboys defensive end Greg Hardy is out of football, but earlier this week he tweeted that he had some exciting news for fans. According to published reports, Hardy plans to transition to a new sport, mixed martial arts fighting. The 28-year-old Hardy reportedly weighs 285 pounds and will debut as a heavyweight in MMA next year. And the Chicago Cubs rallied to score 4 runs in the 9th inning and beat the Giants 6-5 to advance to their second consecutive NLCS. The Cubs play the winner of the Washington Nationals and Dodgers series, which is tied at 2 games apiece.
All right, let's take a break. 7:41. Billy will have news headlines and then our Guess the Movie contest where you'll have a chance to win a $25 gift card to Texas Roadhouse. All that and more coming up Wednesday morning, October 12th. Talk of the Town. We'll be right back.
Eastern North Carolina's truck headquarters is
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep. We have over 100 new Rams in stock. That's the largest in Eastern North Carolina.
If you're in the market for a new truck, now is the time. Ram Power Days are going on now through October 31st. Buy now and get 20% off MSRP on select Ram trucks.
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep. Across from the Cracker Barrel in Greenville.
That's a tough shot. You're right. Can't bear to look. This must be what Luke Kuechly feels like when he takes the field.
Man, this is what Kevin must have felt like when he switched that game winner.
Look for limited edition Pepsi Panthers cans and packaging in stores now. Pepsi, official soft drink of the Carolina Panthers.
Every wireless provider has towers in the city, but US Cellular put towers in places the other guys didn't. So you can video chat at your secret fishing spot or stream way out here. Because US Cellular thinks you deserve a signal that works wherever you are. US Cellular, a stronger signal in the middle of anywhere.
Visit Real Wireless, your local US Cellular authorized agent in Ahoskie, Williamston, and Windsor for the best deals in wireless and great service on a network that works in the middle of anywhere.
Been thinking about buying a new truck this year? It's the Ram Power Days here at East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep. You got to come see our selection of Ram trucks. We've got over 100 in stock. The absolute best selection in Eastern North Carolina. Buy a new Ram now and get 20% off MSRP. Better hurry. East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep. Across from the Cracker Barrel in Greenville.
To see the huge inventory online, visit ecauto.com.
My prescription refills.
My son shot records.
My doctor's appointments.
My lab results.
My parents' care.
My chart.
Vidant My Chart.
Vidant MyChart is the secure online patient portal that lets you manage your health your way. Visit VidantMyChart.com or call 1-855-MyVidant to learn how you can sign up.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and work week daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit TopDogOnline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs.
This is your WITN Morning News Update on 103.7 WTIB and 94.1 WNBU.
Good morning, everyone. It is currently 7:45, 59 degrees in Greenville. I'm Billy Weaver, and this is a look at your WITN News headlines. Governor Pat McCrory and North Carolina emergency management officials will provide an update on Hurricane Matthew's impact on North Carolina. The briefing will be held at 9 a.m. in Raleigh. You can watch it live on WITN.com. The governor continues to reiterate that residents should heed the advice of government leaders who are telling them not to try to drive through floodwaters. He is also warning people not to drive around barricades and to obey instructions from all authorities. Tuesday afternoon, the Tar River stood at 22.31 feet and is expected to rise to just over 25 feet by Friday. On Monday, the city shut down the Green Street bridges because of high water from the Tar River. Greenville Mayor Alan Thomas stressed there is a big difference in flooding from 21 to 22 feet range to the 24 to 26 feet range, and people need to be prepared. Now, one of the greatest dangers that continues, whether you live near the area that's flooded or not, is driving through rushing or even standing water. The state's death toll has climbed to 18 people, and many of them are related to that very dangerous act. Goldsboro police say 54-year-old Lamel Cornegi was found dead in his car in Wooded Creek along Wayne Memorial Drive. He was headed southbound around 7 on Saturday night when his car was swept off the road into the creek and downstream into the woods. Police say Cornegi died because he could not escape. We're continuing to see good progress and power coming back on. Duke Energy says there are 235,000 of their customers without power in North and South Carolina. And with all the power restored from Hurricane Matthew in Florida now, those crews are coming to the Carolinas. Duke says in eastern North Carolina, there are 8,900 customers still without power. They're expected to have power restored by today or tomorrow. Tri-County has 2,800 customers without power, and Dominion Power down to fewer than 100. And Tuesday night, the two gubernatorial candidates for governor of North Carolina went head-to-head in the debate stage. Both began by discussing the flood victims of Hurricane Matthew, as both Governor Pat McCrory and Attorney General Roy Cooper agreed that the state must come together to help those affected. The first heated discussion was about House Bill 2. McCrory said the reason HB 2 came into existence wasn't because of Republican lawmakers, but because of Charlotte's ordinance. Cooper cited the economic consequences for the state, with businesses and sporting events leaving North Carolina in response to the so-called bathroom bill. It is currently 7:47, 59 degrees in Greenville. I'm Billy Weaver, and that's a look at your WITN News headlines.
Sunshine at 73 today, cloudy and 52 tonight. We're looking for sunshine 75 on Thursday. Friday, sunshine at 68 degrees. News and weather is service of the Tire Realty Group and Property Management Team, one of our great longtime sponsors, Rachel and Homer Tire, great folks. They are the official real estate team of the ECU Pirates. And you may not know this, but Tire Realty Group sells a home on average every 48 hours. It's an incredible track record that they've had. They outmarket and outsell every agent in Greenville. Homer and the Tire Realty Group get it done for many, many reasons because of their commitment to help you sell your home. But they also add some guarantees, including the 99-day guarantee, which is if they don't sell your home in 99 days, they sell it for free. And the other thing is they don't hold you to a 6-month contract. If you want out of the deal, you're out of the deal free and clear. Call the only agent I would call if I had to sell my home. I'd call the Tire Realty Group, 758-HOME. That's 758-4663 or 99orfree.com. That's the website, 99orfree.com. All right, we're going to do Guess the Movie right now. Phone lines are open, 561-8255. 252-561-8255. Call us right now. If you can guess my movie clip this morning, first correct caller is going to get a $25 gift card to Texas Roadhouse. Call right now. 561-8255. Lines are open, and we're going to play Guess the Movie when we come back.
We're setting prices way back at Greenville Toyota. Camrys, not $20,000, just $16,900. That's Camrys. Fallback price, $16,900. Plus, get our advantage during the Fallback Savings event at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
Every wireless provider has towers in the city, but U.S. Cellular put towers in places the other guys didn't. So you can video chat at your secret fishing spot or stream way out here. Because U.S. Cellular thinks you deserve a signal that works wherever you are. U.S. Cellular, a stronger signal in the middle of anywhere.
Visit Real Wireless, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent in Ahoskie, Williamston, and Windsor for the best deals in wireless and great service on a network that works in the middle of anywhere.
Pitt County has a strong voice in Raleigh, and it belongs to State Representative Dr. Greg Murphy. As the only medical doctor in the state legislature, Dr. Greg Murphy is using his decades of real-world experience to help find common-sense solutions that protect our hospital, our schools, and our university. That's why so many of your friends and neighbors are saying it's good to have a doctor in the house. Dr. Greg Murphy for NC House.
There's a new car dealership in Washington, and you've got to see the all-new Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram located on Highway 264. I'm Matthew Sessons, General Manager at the new Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We're proud to provide Eastern North Carolina with a state-of-the-art facility, a huge selection of new cars and trucks, and a reliable service department.
Stop in to see us for Ram Power Days and get 20% off select Ram trucks at the all-new Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and WashingtonChrysler.com.
That's a tough shot. You're right. Can't bear to look. This must be what Luke Kuechly feels like when he takes the field.
Man, this is what Kevin must have felt like when he swished that game winner.
Look for limited edition Pepsi Panthers cans and packaging in stores now. Pepsi, official soft drink of the Carolina Panthers.
We're setting prices way back at Greenville Toyota. Camrys, not $20,000, just $16,900. That's Camrys, fallback price $16,900. Plus, get our advantage during the fallback savings event at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
Hollywood. All right, guess the movie time. Here we go. Got a movie clip we're going to play. First correct caller, $25 gift card to Texas Roadhouse, where the steaks are hand cut and fresh daily. I was there for lunch after church on Sunday and had the pork chop because I always get the pork chop. They have the best pork chop in town.
So I hear.
You ready? Let's go to the lines. Lines are jammed right now, but when someone drops off, that'll open up a line at 561-8255. Let's go down to Washington and Blake. Good morning, Blake. How are you?
Morning, doing well.
Are you high and dry this morning, I hope, in Washington?
I am.
Do you have electricity?
I do.
God bless you. Been a long week down there, hasn't it? All right, here's your movie clip, Blake. Listen carefully. Tell me what movie. You don't need to tell me who the actor is. Just tell me the movie. And you get the $25 gift card to Texas Roadhouse. All right, here we go. Here's this week's movie clip.
I'm a man of large appetites, and even with lunch under my belt, I was feeling mighty peckish.
Did you hear it?
I did.
I was feeling a mite peckish. All right, I'll play it again for you. Here we go.
I'm a man of large appetites, and even with lunch under my belt, I was feeling mighty peckish.
By the way, I think this is one of the funniest movies of all time. I really... But, you know, I'm not sure everybody's seen. This one's maybe...
It's you have to have a, I guess, certain taste for it to be really
I think it's hilarious. Blake, any clue?
Blade?
Any idea?
Blade?
No. Oh, no. But you mean like Sling Blade?
Yeah, Sling
No, that's
Blade.
a good guess, but no, that was not. That would have been something like French fried potatoes. All right, Blake, thanks for trying. That'll open up a line at 561-8255. Let's go to Tom, who's calling in from Pantego this morning. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Henry.
How are you? How are things in Pantego? Everything okay down there now?
Everything is fine, yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to play the movie clip for you. Listen up.
I'm a man of large appetites, and even with lunch under my belt, I was feeling mighty peckish.
Large appetite, feeling a mite peckish. Who is that? What movie is that, Tom?
Oh, brother, where art thou?
Yes, you are correct.
I can't believe that because I watched it once when it came out. That was it.
I think that is a hilarious movie. Oh, brother, where art thou? Which George Clooney and great cast. That was not Clooney though. Yeah.
No, I believe that was John Goodman.
No,
in that clip.
Wasn't Goodman.
No?
Wasn't Goodman. It was the guy, the little short guy. He's not a big star, but anyway. All right, Tom, what's your last name?
Vanderhave.
Tom Vanderhave. All right, Tom, you got a $25 gift card to Texas Roadhouse.
Awesome.
And you're the movie genius this morning. Oh, brother, where art thou was the movie. Thank you, brother. Hang on, and Mark or Mudflat will pick up and tell you how to get your prize, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Henry.
Good to hear from you. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie. You know, my favorite line of that movie is when George Clooney and they're hiding out in the barn, and the mean old Southern sheriff comes up and they're surrounding them, and he looks out. George Clooney looks out and says, "We're in a tight spot." Then the sheriff starts firing into the barn. He goes, "We're in a tight spot. We're in a tight spot." There's a lot of funny lines in that movie. Anyway, all right, let's get a break, and we will come back. John Hood, who I often say is the smartest man in North Carolina, is going to be with us after the top of the hour, and he's going to tell us what he thinks about last night's debate between McCrory and Cooper. All that and more emergency information as we continue our coverage of the aftermath of Matthew. We'll be back.
We're setting prices way back at Greenville Toyota. Camrys, not $20,000, just $16,900. That's Camrys. Fallback price, $16,900. Plus, get our advantage during the Fallback Savings event at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
My prescription refills.
My son shot records.
My doctor's appointments.
My lab results.
My parents' care.
My chart.
Vidant My Chart.
Vidant MyChart is the secure online patient portal that lets you manage your health your way. Visit VidantMyChart.com or call 1-855-MyVidant to learn how you can sign up.
That's a tough shot. You're right. Can't bear to look. This must be what Luke Kuechly feels like when he takes the field.
Man, this is what Kevin must have felt like when he swished that game winner.
Look for limited edition Pepsi Panthers cans and packaging in stores now. Pepsi, official soft drink of the Carolina Panthers.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and work week daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit TopDogOnline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs.
My prescription refills.
My son shot records.
My doctor's appointments.
My lab results.
My parents' care.
My chart.
Vidant My Chart.
Vidant MyChart is the secure online patient portal that lets you manage your health your way. Visit VidantMyChart.com or call 1-855-MyVidant to learn how you can sign up.
We're setting prices way back at Greenville Toyota. Camrys, not $20,000, just $16,900. That's Camrys. Fallback price, $16,900. Plus, get our advantage during the Fallback Savings event at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
Welcome into Talk of the Town with Henry Hinton.
People say I am the best boss. They go, God, we've never worked in a place like this before. You're hilarious.
News, weather, sports, and of course, all the local info you need to start your day.
I think that pretty much sums it up.
Catch Talk of the Town live on 103.7 WTIB and 94.1 WNBU. What? Cable 7 in Greenville and worldwide at WTIBFM.com. What? Now here's the host for Talk of the Town. Yes. Henry Hinton.
Hour 2 here on Wednesday morning. Today is the 12th day of October. Welcome into Talk of the Town. We continue to see if that's Reverend Coles and ask him if he'd like to go on the air, McGee. We've been trying to get up with Reverend Rodney Coles. They're having a food drive here in Greenville today, and there are a lot of folks doing a lot of things to help a lot of folks. I just found out my 7-year-old grandson, his aunt is going to take him around to shelters today and take coloring books to the kids.
That's awesome.
People are stepping up to help. And there's a lot of good people doing a lot of nice things right now, but there's still a lot of people in shelters everywhere throughout eastern North Carolina, particularly along the Tar River. As Weaver told us last hour, the crest is not actually going to take place of the Tar River until Friday now. So we're going to have we're going to be dealing with this for several more days. I don't know how long it's going to be before people can go back to their homes. And, you know, if you were around in 99, you may remember what happens next, Billy, is concern about mold and spores in these homes. And a lot of them are going to have to be reconstructed or renovated.
Well, you remember after Floyd,
torn down.
Yeah, some of those houses and many of those houses down by the Tar River were condemned and torn down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because once that stuff gets in, it's trying to get it out and healthy. You know, we talk about the cresting of the river. That's just when the river's going to crest on Friday. That doesn't mean everything's okay. That river still has to recede. The water has to go somewhere. It's going to take days and days, if not weeks, for that water to get back to normal.
Exactly. Last hour, I need to mention that we did the Guess the Movie clip, and I used this clip.
I'm a man of large appetites, and even with lunch under my belt, I was feeling mighty peckish.
From Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And I said that was not John Goodman, which really didn't affect the contest, but as it turns out, it was John Goodman.
Okay.
I had several people tell me it was John Goodman. I had phone calls and texts and tweets. That was John Goodman, you idiot. It didn't sound like John.
I'm a man of large appetites, and even with lunch under my belt, I was feeling mighty peckish.
But, you know, he's a large man with a large appetite. He was feeling a mite peckish. By the way, I'm feeling a mite peckish myself right now. Nothing was open when I came in this morning.
So you didn't go to the Greasy Spoon?
No, the Greasy Spoons were open, but I was running late, and the McDonald's and the Hardee's and all that. So I was going to stop and get a cup of coffee and a biscuit, and everything's open now, I guess. But I think because of the curfew, they weren't able to get in.
Yeah.
Let's go to the telephone. Our friend Pastor Rodney Coles, who is with the Churches Outreach Network here in Greenville and does a lot of great things for our community, is on the telephone. Good morning, Pastor Coles. How are you?
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good. I've been trying to get up with you because I was impressed with what you're trying to do this morning. You've put together a food drive this morning that starts at 9 a.m., correct? And this food is going to go to flood victims?
Yes.
Tell us how we can help. How can people come over and help? Is this going to be going on most of the day, or is it just this morning, or what?
We're going to start at 9 o'clock this morning. We have approximately over 16 pallets of food will be out here, and it's going to be out here until it's gone. So it's for the flood victims that needs this food here.
So you're actually distributing the food this morning at 9 o'clock.
Right.
I got you.
And we're going to be out here. We have people bringing bread from different areas this morning. So There's a truck coming from Aden with a bunch of bread as well. So they're coming from all directions. But about 9 o'clock, we should have everything at least here and be ready to start distributing out towards the community. I do want to mention, if I can, we did had one of the church, First Presbyterian have helped in New Dimension, and St. Paul Episcopal, as well as a few other churches have helped to get us some hygiene products. So we also have some hygiene products for those victims who may need it. We sent an email this morning to the website what they need to just go in and fill in information, and we have a building already set up so they could come pick that up. And I can give that website address to you on the air, which is ICSFC214.org. I'll say it 3 more times, but they could click right on there. On the Hurricane Matthew, they will see that. They click right on there, and what they will be able to fill it out, and they will go ahead and get them a box of hygiene stuff. So we've been picking up all day yesterday of hygiene products. But that website again is ICSFC2014.org, and there's going to be food out here for the community, for those who have a need for it, and we're here to be able to do that.
I saw there were a lot of the pastors in the community, including mine, Greg Rogers from Oakmont, that got together yesterday and talked about what was needed in the community and how people could help. How do you suggest that someone who wants to do something today to help the community and help their neighbors in need here, what's the best thing people can do right now?
Well, 2 things they can do. They can come out and help, because knowing that today is going to be an all-day process. And if anyone have anything they want to donate during the hygiene stuff, because that's really basic needed on soap, hand sanitizer, water, toiletries. Those things are really, really needed. If they wanted to also contribute, if we can make it happen, I'm quite sure it can. We can also be giving out to some of the toiletries right out here as well. But we just need more helping hands that could be out here, because this is not a 2-hour thing. It's going to be all day. And I know that anybody else that may want to bring water and food, keep on bringing. But we need to make sure that there's somebody able to be here, which we're going to have to be able to give out the food all day. We don't want to say we stop. We're not going to be a bite day. We're not going to stop at 3 o'clock.
Right.
We're going to keep on going until it's all gone.
And you're going to be at 713 Albemarle Avenue. Now, where is that, a church, or is that just a community building? What is that?
It's right across from the Joy Soup Kitchen. Is an open area.
Okay.
They used to call it the Ice House, the theater. They used to be there.
Oh yeah, right,
and
yeah.
That's where
down by the old Roxy Theater.
Right.
Is that
that's
right?
That's where we at, right there.
Right.
That's where we're going to be at.
Okay.
And that's where we're here now with combs outside. I got about at least 8. I got 1, 2, 3. I got 4 females, and I need help with tables.
Okay.
So I can't let them do it these days. They make the table look pretty. And,
I got you.
Well,
listen,
I'm out here right now.
Listen. I tell you, I admire you. I always have. I know what you do in the community. There are givers and takers, and I know that you're a giver. And you do a lot of great things for the community, and you've organized this today to help people, and I admire that, and I hope people will come out and contribute and help with this.
I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to pick me on the air, and I truly appreciate that. And we'll continue moving forward with the grace of God.
Okay.
God be the glory.
Thank you, Pastor Coles. Nice talking to you.
Likewise. Thank you,
Pastor
Bye-bye.
Rodney Coles. I stay in contact with him through email. He has the Churches Outreach Network, and I tell you, McGee, I know you guys probably know him at the Chamber. He's one of these guys that really just wants to help people, I think.
Yeah.
I think his heart's in the right place. I've always really admired him, and I wanted to do something this morning to try to promote what he's doing today, so I'm glad we got that on the air. 14 minutes after 8 o'clock. It is Talk of the Town Wednesday morning. Coming up in a few minutes, last night the debate between Governor McCrory and Roy Cooper, the Attorney General, the only statewide debate that's going to be broadcast over television stations and radio stations across the state. John Hood, who is now, of course, he was with the John Locke Foundation forever, but now he is the head guy at the Pope Foundation and kind of runs that whole operation and does so many wonderful things across the state of North Carolina. John gives money away now for a living, but he also is a columnist. He continues to be a part of NC Spin. He's become a good friend, and I think that John is one of the smartest people and objective people in the state of North Carolina when it comes to politics. Now, John he's conservative and he's very libertarian thinking, but he can be objective. And I heard him on the radio last night on the North Carolina News Network doing debate analysis after the fact. If you heard that on our stations here on WTIB and WNBU, I thought that John's comments were pretty objective, and so I want to put him on this morning. We're going to get John in here in just a few minutes, and he will tell us what he saw last night in the debate. I said earlier this morning what I thought. I think that Roy Cooper looked like he had over-prepared but didn't come with any vision for the state. He had a lot of good zingers, good one-liners like, Governor, what planet are you on? And stuff like that. You could tell had been rehearsed over and over again. But McCrory, who's been knee-deep in hurricane coverage, in fact, he was down here day before yesterday, and I asked him, so are you going to do this debate Tuesday night? And he said yes. And I think, in all honesty, he came off after having I was talking to one of his top aides in our texting after the debate last night, and I said I couldn't believe how energized he was, how alert he was, because I know how tired he is. And one of his top aides said to me last night, he said, you can't believe how little sleep he's had. And to get up there and have that kind of performance in the debate tonight was pretty amazing. But he was energetic. I mean, here's the thing about Governor McCrory. You can tell he loves his job and he wants to keep his job. And he had strong answers, I thought, for all the criticism last night. Meanwhile, in my opinion, Roy Cooper missed an opportunity to tell the people of the state what his vision and his plan is. And it was just the same old liberal Democratic rhetoric. Republicans hate education. They give tax cuts to the wealthy and screw the middle class. I think just people are tired. You got to bring more than that at this point. You got to bring more than that.
I'll tell you what, McCrory's been able to show through this whole HB2 thing to be able to field those questions and to be able to take the criticisms and everything, because he's been doing it on a national level with this HB2 thing for quite some time. I mean, you see him on all the national talk shows and everything when everybody wants to talk about this HB2. So, I mean, he came with guns ready and blazing.
But, didn't you sense that his responses and his comments last night were, well thought out, but top of mind, not over rehearsed.
Yeah.
And Cooper, I mean, it just got. He said he became so robotic at times, where McCrory was kind of in his face and kind of giving it back to him, and then Cooper had to collect himself when it was his turn and say, once again, here is an example of Governor McCrory distorting his own record. And I was like, man, you have practiced that over and over and over again, and it just comes out so robotic at this point. He said that so many times, and I don't know. To me, it was a slam dunk for the governor. Now, we'll see what happens in the polls, because the polls are very close. Mm-hmm. Recent days, polls have showed Cooper winning. I can't – if you were in – look, let's face it. There are going to be some people going to vote for Roy Cooper no matter what, just like people vote for McCrory no matter what. But if you were undecided and you saw that debate last night, I don't know how you come away feeling like you could vote for Roy Cooper. He didn't look in charge. He looked nervous. He looked tentative. I mean, and the governor looked very strong and in command. And look, you attack me, I'm going to attack you back. But, here's what I've done for the state. Here's what I'm doing for the taxpayers. This is our record, and we're going to run on this record. And Roy Cooper, meanwhile, all he did was attack him. He didn't come up with any vision for the state. There was no real plan on, it's just like, you're screwing the school teachers. But he didn't give us his plan for what he was going to do for the school teachers. And again, that whole thing about Republicans hating education is just such an old argument. Purdue used it, easily used it, but it just doesn't seem to hold water anymore based on what's happened in the state since McCrory has been governor. 20 minutes after 8, let's get a break in. We're coming back. We'll get John Hood on to tell us what he thinks. That's my opinion. Maybe John feels differently. Billy's got news headlines. We got sports coming up. It's Wednesday morning Talk of the Town. We'll be right back.
Eastern North Carolina's truck headquarters is
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep. We have over 100 new Rams in stock. That's the largest in Eastern North Carolina.
If you're in the market for a new truck, now is the time. Ram Power Days are going on now through October 31st. Buy now and get 20% off MSRP on select Ram trucks.
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep. Across from the Cracker Barrel in Greenville.
Every wireless provider has towers in the city, but US Cellular put towers in places the other guys didn't. So you can video chat at your secret fishing spot or stream way out here. Because US Cellular thinks you deserve a signal that works wherever you are. US Cellular, a stronger signal in the middle of anywhere.
Visit Real Wireless, your local US Cellular authorized agent in Ahoskie, Williamston, and Windsor for the best deals in wireless and great service on a network that works in the middle of anywhere.
There's a new car dealership in Washington, and you've got to see the all-new Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram located on Highway 264. I'm Matthew Sessons, General Manager at the new Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We're proud to provide Eastern North Carolina with a state-of-the-art facility, a huge selection of new cars and trucks, and a reliable service department.
Stop in to see us for Ram Power Days and get 20% off select Ram trucks at the all-new Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and WashingtonChrysler.com.
My prescription refills.
My son's shot records.
My doctor's appointments.
My lab results.
My parents' care.
My chart.
Vidant My Chart.
Vidant My Chart is the secure online patient portal that lets you manage your health your way. Visit VidantMyChart.com or call 1-855-MyVidant to learn how you can sign up.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and work week daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit TopDogOnline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs.
She stood in the street.
Hey, welcome back. Talk of the Town here on Wednesday morning, October the 12th. John Hood coming up in 7 minutes. Analysis of last night's debate between Governor Pat McCrory and Attorney General Roy Cooper. What did he see? See if he saw it the way I did. Billy Weaver's got news headlines. By the way, I wanted to mention, yesterday morning I was reading some information from the state of North Carolina's Public Safety Division, the Department of Public Safety. And one of the things that I mentioned was the danger in the use of generators. I ran into Brian Floyd, the president of Vidant Medical Center, at lunch yesterday, and he was telling me that there had been 5 admissions into the emergency room since Saturday here at Vidant Medical Center with people with injuries or carbon monoxide poisoning from the use of generators. So I want to reiterate again, you hear all this emergency information. Some people don't get it, and they don't really. He said one of the folks had actually, used a generator in a home and exploded, and he has very bad burns all over his face. So, I mean, something very bad can happen if you're using a generator inside, even in your garage. Even in your garage. Do not use a generator in your garage. It has to be outside. It can explode, but the other thing that happens is carbon monoxide. They emit carbon monoxide, and you cannot use that in an enclosed area. It has to be outside your home. So they've had lots of those incidences at Vidant. And Brian also wanted me to mention the healthcare workers at Vidant this past weekend who stayed overnight, slept on cots. I mentioned my daughter did this when she's a hospital. She's a heart lab nurse in Charleston. She stayed overnight to take care of people. There were over 100 nurses that stayed in the hospital and didn't go home. And you think about these people. I mean, they got families at home too. Some of them have children. And, it just, again, it just shows the dedication of healthcare workers and how lucky we are in this community.
Indeed.
To have Vidant Medical Center. So thanks to all of you who have taken care of all of us during the storm. 8:26, let's go to the news desk now. Billy Weaver with the very latest. Good morning, Billy.
Good morning, Henry. It is 8:26, 59 degrees in Greenville. I'm Billy Weaver, and this is a look at your WITN News headlines. Governor Pat McCrory and North Carolina emergency management officials will provide an update on Hurricane Matthew's impact on the state of North Carolina. The briefing will be held just shortly from now at 9 a.m. in Raleigh. You can watch it live on WITN.com. The governor continues to reiterate that residents should heed the advice of government leaders who are telling them not to try and drive through flood waters. He is also warning people not to drive around barricades and to obey instructions by your local authorities. Tuesday afternoon, the Tar River stood at 22.31 feet and is expected to rise just over 25 feet by Friday, when it's expected to crest. On Monday, city officials shut down Green Street Bridge because of high water over the Tar River. Greenville Mayor Alan Thomas stressed there is a big difference in flooding from 21 to 22 feet to the 24 to 26 feet range expected, and people need to be prepared. One of the greatest dangers that continues, whether you live near an area that's flooded or not, is driving through rushing water or even standing water. The state's death toll has now climbed to 18. Many of them are related to that very dangerous act. Goldsboro police say 54-year-old Lamel Cornegi was found dead in his car in a wooded creek along Wayne Memorial Drive. He was headed southbound around 7 on Saturday night when his car was swept off the road into the creek, downstream, and into the woods. Police say Cornegi died because he could not escape his vehicle. We're continuing to see good progress in power coming back on. Duke Energy says there are 235,000 customers without power in North and South Carolina. And with all the power restored from Hurricane Matthew now in Florida, those crews are starting to come to the Carolinas. Duke says in eastern North Carolina, there are 8,900 customers still without power. They're expected to have their power restored by today or tomorrow. Tri-County has 2,800 customers without power. Dominion Power is now down to fewer than 100 customers without power. And Tuesday night, the two gubernatorial candidates for North Carolina went head-to-head on the debate stage. Both began by discussing the flood victims of Hurricane Matthew. Both Governor Pat McCrory and Attorney General Roy Cooper agreed that the state must come together to help those affected. Now, the first heated discussion was about House Bill 2. McCrory said the reason HB 2 came into existence wasn't because of Republican lawmakers, but because of Charlotte's ordinance. Cooper cited the economic consequences for the state with businesses and sporting events, leaving North Carolina in response to the so-called bathroom bill. It is currently 8:28, 59 degrees in Greenville. I'm Billy Weaver, and that's a look at your WITN News headlines. Henry.
Thank you, Billy. Let's check our weather update now. Trent McGee here to tell us about the sunny weather, even though we're dealing with these floods.
Yeah, it looks good. Clear for today with a low of 73 degrees for tonight. Calm with lows around 52. For your Thursday, again, looking good with a high of 76 degrees, lows in the mid-50s. And looking ahead to Friday, partly sunny skies with highs in the mid-70s and lows around 53 degrees.
All right, news and weather service this morning of Pear Electronics, my buddy Jason Pear. He's expanded his operation again. This time it's something you really need to listen to and take advantage of. I've told you for years that Jason Pear's folks when I remodeled my home years ago, I actually gave Jason a key to my house, and I said, I trust you enough that I think that you guys come and go as you want. I want this done right. And did a great job of furnishing me with an entire sound system throughout my house, on my patio, a big screen TV, the whole deal, and they just did a fabulous job. Well, now the Pear Electronics folks have taken it to a new level. They have just signed on with Alarm.com, and they have also just come in and done a deal with the largest security company in the city, West Coast Security, a merger. And so what you have now is Pear Electronics, security, and fire alarm. That's right. They can do security and fire alarm and hook you up to Alarm.com, which, by the way, is the coolest thing. When somebody comes to your door, you can literally pull them up on your smartphone and look at who's at your door and communicate with them through your phone. Now, how cool is that? You don't have to go that elaborate, but that's available. We actually have he's just put a new camera in our lobby as a result of that. But they do everything turnkey. Home electronics, fire alarm systems now, security. Call Jason at 439-5295 or visit him at PearElectronics.com and find out what they're doing with all this new Alarm.com stuff. It is now Pear Electronics, security, and fire alarms. And as I said from the beginning, if you want somebody trustworthy enough that I even gave them a key to my house, I trust the Pear Electronics guys implicitly. And whenever I need them, they come. I'm telling you, do a great job. All right, 29 in front of 9 o'clock. Last night's debate, McCrory Cooper. What did you see? What did John Hood see? One of the top political analysts in the state of North Carolina, John Hood, will join us next and give us his thoughts. Be right back.
We're setting prices way back at Greenville Toyota. Camrys, not $20,000, just $16,900. That's Camrys. Fallback price, $16,900. Plus, get our advantage during the Fallback Savings event at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
My prescription refills.
My son's shot records.
My doctor's appointments.
My lab results.
My parents' care.
My chart.
Vidant My Chart.
Vidant MyChart is the secure online patient portal that lets you manage your health your way. Visit VidantMyChart.com or call 1-855-MyVidant to learn how you can sign up.
That's a tough shot. You're right. Can't bear to look. This must be what Luke Kuechly feels like when he takes the field.
Man, this is what Kevin must have felt like when he switched that game winner.
Look for limited edition Pepsi Panthers cans and packaging in stores now. Pepsi, official soft drink of the Carolina Panthers.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and work week daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit TopDogOnline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs.
My prescription refills.
My son's shot records.
My doctor's appointments.
My lab results.
My parents' care.
My chart.
Vidant My Chart.
Vidant MyChart is the secure online patient portal that lets you manage your health your way. Visit VidantMyChart.com or call 1-855-MyVidant to learn how you can sign up.
We're setting prices way back at Greenville Toyota. Camrys, not $20,000, just $16,900. That's Camrys. Fallback price, $16,900. Plus, get our advantage during the Fallback Savings event at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
Talk of the Town on 103.7, 94.1, Cable 7, streaming video on WTIBFM.com. And this segment brought to you by Nice Personnel. If you're a business owner, you're having trouble hiring employees, employers know they can depend on Nice Personnel to deliver the highest level of recruiting and screening service in Eastern North Carolina. Nice is Eastern NC's premier staffing and recruiting firm. They got a proven record of successfully placing candidates at all levels. As a longtime Eastern North Carolina resident and proud ECU graduate, Lori Nice is a certified personnel consultant, more than 25 years of experience, and by the way, a rabid Pirate fan. The team at Nice Personnel will help your company make the best hire. So if you need help, call Nice Personnel, N-E-A-S-E, Nice Personnel today, 756-5820. You can catch them at nicepersonnel.com. All right, we've been talking a lot about the debate last night between Governor McCrory and Attorney General Roy Cooper. Now on the telephone to give us his analysis and what he saw, our friend John Hood, who is now president of the Pope Foundation. You see him, you love him on NC Spin, and I just refer to him as the smartest man in North Carolina. Good morning, Mr. Hood. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine, Henry. How are you?
You did a great job last night. I was listening to our radio coverage on our stations down here after the debate last night. You and Donna and Rick Martinez and Andy Taylor from NC State. Great job of your analysis, but it struck me that you were being so objective that you'd be a good person to kind of give us an analysis. I thought that it was a home run for the governor. What I have said so far is I thought that that Cooper came off contrived and over-rehearsed. And after a very long weekend, and he had to be tired and sleepy, the governor looked spontaneous, on top of the issues, energetic, and very much in charge. Do you agree with that?
I do agree with that. I think I would change your metaphor a little bit. I think Roy Cooper's a fairly good baseball player and was ushered into the football stadium and just couldn't handle it. I mean, Cooper is an experienced guy. I've known him a long time. Don't agree with him on a whole lot, but I've known him a long time. He knows his stuff. He's capable. He has experience in state government, but he will never be good in these kind of debate formats. It's just not his style. And I think you're absolutely right. What they did is, first of all, they had to agree to a couple of debates, and so they have. They know Pat McCrory is a better debater, that he's a forceful advocate for his position, that he can think quickly on his feet. So what they did with Cooper is they kind of stuffed his head full of sound bites and talking points. And, to some extent, when Cooper was asked a question, you could kind of see the gears shifting, like a little dwarf in his head was running around pulling out the talking point and sticking it into the slot, and it just wasn't. I mean, he had a couple of these, you say you're a Carolina comeback governor, I'll be a comeback to Carolina governor.
Yeah.
That is a strange thing to say for anybody. I mean, I just had a hard time trying to get it out. And for Roy, Cooper is just that's not his thing. Now, the other thing that really struck me about the debate is McCrory, who, as you say, had been up probably most of the last several days, but was running on adrenaline, was very energetic. McCrory had critical things to say about Cooper, about the crime lab, and Cooper's comments. But in general, Pat McCrory was running on Pat McCrory. He was saying, here's what we've done the last 4 years. Here's why I think it's worked out well. You should reelect me. And Cooper essentially said, Pat McCrory passed HB2. Pat McCrory signed HB2. Pat McCrory did this. Pat McCrory did that. I have no idea. And again, I am truly trying to be objective here, just evaluating this as a televised debate. You came away from that debate knowing pretty much nothing about what a Cooper administration would look like.
He didn't present any vision or plan for the state.
The one thing he said he would do is expand Medicaid. Now, I don't think the legislature would go along with that.
Right.
But that's, to give him credit, he did say he would do a Medicaid expansion. But other than that, he even refused to be specific about taxes and spending. This is one of the main themes of the Democratic attacks on McCrory is too many tax cuts, not enough government spending. Well, the logic of that is that if Cooper was elected and he was going to fashion his first budget for preparation to the General Assembly, I guess he would raise taxes and spend more money. I mean, that's the logic of it. So he was asked that question by Todd, the moderator, and by Pat McCrory numerous times. How would you pay for all the things you want to spend money on? Would you raise taxes? Which taxes would you raise? And Cooper basically said, I don't think we need to raise taxes.
Yeah.
Well, his entire, to the extent there is a campaign on core issues, it's about the fact that taxes are too low. That's the whole point.
That's the William Barber That's the William Barber platform, isn't it? We need this, we need that, we need this, we need that, and these guys are giving tax cuts to the rich.
Yeah, I mean, the logic of this is pretty obvious. If you want to spend, if you don't think we spend enough money, we need more money to spend, then you have to get more money.
Yeah.
And now we all know that Cooper would probably, I think he proposed a sales tax increase, but he's not going to say that. He's not going to say he would repeal all the tax cuts because that would be unpopular.
Yeah.
So I think that there's just a big gaping hole in Roy Cooper's platform. You know, what would he be like as governor? What would his policies look like? He didn't fill in those gaps last night. McCrory was very effective. I don't know that this is a transformational event in the campaign, but there's a reason why Cooper was reluctant to agree to multiple debates. He knows it's not his format. He knows it's not to his advantage, and Pat McCrory really showed that last night.
You know, I said this morning that, you know, it looks to me like Cooper is pulled out the Jim Hunt playbook from 1975. You know, we just continue to hear over and over again from the Democratic candidates, and Cooper's falling right into this trap. Republicans hate education. They cut education. And all they want to do is give tax cuts to the wealthy and screw the middle class. That's the 1975 Democratic playbook. Is it going to work today? I mean, you can't possibly make a case, can you, that Pat McCrory hates education? I mean, look at what he's done. I mean, it's like, you know, it doesn't make any difference. It's like the Teddy Roosevelt strategy. If you got a weak point, speak louder. And he just, you know, it just continued to. Those things just kept coming out, and I kept thinking, man, do the Democrats not have anything new? This is the same old stuff.
Well, you know, when you have a governor like Jim Hunt, who was kind of a political colossus and won 4 terms, he served in statewide office 20 years, 16 years as governor, 4 years as lieutenant governor, won a lot of races, always by a lot, except for his Senate race against Jesse Helms. And so, of course, Democrats say, well, let's get that old black magic. You know?
Right.
The problem here is a couple of them. First of all, Roy Cooper isn't Jim Hunt. He is of the old school Eastern North Carolina Democrat sort of way, but he doesn't have the skills, the relationships, the ability to sell. And this, as you say, is not 1980 or 1992 or 1996. The situation is quite different. Also, Cooper has a fundamental problem, as I was alluding to earlier. He has a record in the legislature. And the record in the legislature is voting for massive tax increases in the middle class. That's what he's done.
Yeah.
Now, Pat McCrory was mayor of Charlotte. You know, there were some tax increases. They were subject to referendum. But largely what happened in Charlotte under Mayor Pat McCrory was not property tax increases, or at least not significant ones. So there's a clear difference in the record of the two guys. When McCrory became governor, he signed a number of significant tax cuts. His record on tax cutting and government restraint is so impressive that the Cato Institute, the Libertarian Cato Institute, has given McCrory top grades during his entire tenure. So that is a clear contrast. And coming in and saying all the Republicans want to do is cut taxes on the wealthy and raise taxes on the middle class is complete. First of all, that is false. That's not what happened. Almost everybody in North Carolina got tax cuts under the McCrory plan. But the other problem is that Roy Cooper really is the guy that raises taxes on the middle class.
Right, he really is.
He voted for it multiple times.
Yeah, and would propose it again, just as you say earlier, when all these things that he wants to do, but he doesn't have a plan to pay for it. He just says he's going to do it. You mentioned earlier you're not sure it was a significant event in the campaign. the polls have been very close on this race. Recent days, Cooper has pulled ahead in the polling. Why do you think that's happening, and do you believe it? Do you think how close do you think this race is right now?
I think that Cooper is leading McCrory based on public and private polls that I have and seen. But I don't think it's a gigantic difference. It's probably 2 or 3 points. It's still very competitive as we head towards the last weeks of the campaign. I think one reason why Cooper is doing better, for example, Cooper is doing better than Hillary Clinton is in North Carolina, better than Deborah Ross is in North Carolina. I do think HB2 is part of that, but primarily because it is blanketed political coverage. I mean, basically, if you're reading and watching North Carolina news coverage, North Carolina politics consists of HB2 voting rights, and people complaining there isn't enough attention to HB2 and voting rights. And when that is the case, that crowds out all the other messages. When McCrory talks about the economy, talks about tax cuts, talks about accumulating a large savings account in case of a natural disaster, which is very relevant right now.
Yeah.
When he talks about these things, I mean, he gets a little bit of coverage. He might be dutiful, a little mention at the end of a story. But then the next story is, which amateur, horse racing event is going to be canceled because of HB2. It's just on and on and on.
Right.
It's a steady drumbeat. It's not that the public thinks that every element of the HB2 legislation was bad, but they are tired of hearing about it, and it is all they hear about, and they kind of blame McCrory whether he deserves it or not.
Right, which is why Cooper kept talking about it. Clearly his handlers and strategists have seen that, and so they said continue to say HB2 all night long, which he did. What kind of job did you think Chuck Todd did?
He did okay. I wasn't crazy about bringing in a national moderator. I didn't think it was wise because I know he's a good political mind and everything. He's capable on television, but he's not immersed in our politics. He doesn't know the issues well enough.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought it was a mistake. But having said that, he had done enough homework that for the most part, he asked reasonable questions.
Yeah. I actually thought he did a pretty good job. Of course, in full disclosure, I'm on the NCAB board. And but we've always brought in national names. We had for the Tillis debates 2 years ago, we had George Stephanopoulos and Nora O'Donnell, and I thought I thought they did an okay job. I thought Todd was very up on the issues. Keep in mind too, he's just a face. He did the follow-up questions. The questions actually came from the news directors from TV and radio stations across the state.
That's why that explains it to my mind, because I didn't think he would have had to do a whole lot of homework to come up with the questions. I thought the questions were fine, and I thought Chuck Todd handled them fine. But the main thing here is I like debates that it's very clear what the format is and how much time you have, and that generally worked here. I mean, basically, whenever Todd gave them extra time, he told them how much, he enforced the time limits. You didn't have one person dominate the other unfairly.
Yeah, that's right.
What happened was Pat McCrory dominated Roy Cooper just because he's better at this.
Right.
He has a lot more ammunition to shoot, and he shot it well.
I saw yesterday that McCrory and Cooper have agreed to do another debate on WRAL television in Raleigh, and David Crabtree and Laura Leslie are going to be the moderator. I'm really surprised based on their coverage of things in the last couple of years that McCrory would agree to that debate, especially with Laura Leslie being one of the questioners who has – I mean, look, you and I are kind of on the inside of the media world in North Carolina. We kind of know where Laura Leslie is coming from. It's not hard to tell if you're just watching her on TV either. She's very liberal. And I just think that's really odd that McCrory agreed to that. What do you think about that? Is that going to hurt him?
I think it was only fair. I mean, I think this really speaks to McCrory's sense of fair play. He understands that he's about 3 times as good as Roy Cooper.
Yeah.
And so
I guess that's the thing.
Any
opportunity to debate him may help him. Maybe that's the thinking.
I think that is – I was just kidding. I think that's actually what he was thinking. The more opportunities I get to be on television debating Roy Cooper, the better. Now, it is going to be an environment that will most likely be skewed against him.
Hostile.
He's the governor. He's decided to take it on. I hope he gets some rest.
And the thing about it is that outside of the if you polled this race outside of Wake County, well, or let's say outside of the Triangle media area, which would be Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill area, McCrory would be winning this thing going away. It's the media.
That is correct.
It's the media coverage in your market in Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill, the TV stations and the News Observer and some of the other media up there that have just absolutely crushed McCrory on a daily basis. And so, this could end up being a good move to go on WRAL and debate him. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know either. I think you're right about that. But also the Triangle is simply importing Democrat voters every year.
Yeah.
And it's just becoming a more Democratic place.
Right.
It's the place that Democrats need to maximize their vote in order to win statewide.
Last question for you, John. Is Trump going to hurt McCrory in North Carolina?
Yes. Trump hurts all Republicans everywhere.
Yeah.
Now, how much we'll see. I mean, it's clearly a drag on the Republican ticket pretty much everywhere in the country. The real debate is it a modest drag or a major drag?
Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens. Thank you for your time. Always great to hear your voice. Hope you're doing well. Hadn't seen you in a while.
I'm doing fine. Stop avoiding me.
Yeah. We'll do lunch soon. I'll call you. All right. See you, John. John Hood, the president of the Pope Foundation and one of the stars of NC Spin. All right, 9 minutes in front of 9 o'clock. Let's go to break. We'll have sports coming up next.
Eastern North Carolina's truck headquarters is
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep. We have over 100 new Rams in stock. That's the largest in Eastern North Carolina.
If you're in the market for a new truck, now is the time. Ram Power Days are going on now through October 31st. Buy now and get 20% off MSRP on select Ram trucks.
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep. Can see it. Across from the Cracker Barrel in Greenville.
That's a tough shot. You're right. Can't bear to look. This must be what Luke Kuechly feels like when he takes the field.
Man, this is what Kevin must have felt like when he swished that game winner.
Look for limited edition Pepsi Panthers cans and packaging in stores now. Pepsi, official soft drink of the Carolina Panthers.
Every wireless provider has towers in the city, but US Cellular put towers in places the other guys didn't. So you can video chat at your secret fishing spot or stream way out here. Because US Cellular thinks you deserve a signal that works wherever you are. US Cellular, a stronger signal in the middle of anywhere.
Visit Real Wireless, your local US Cellular authorized agent in Ahoskie, Williamston, and Windsor for the best deals in wireless and great service on a network that works in the middle of anywhere.
Been thinking about buying a new truck this year? It's the Ram Power Days here at East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep. You got to come see our selection of Ram trucks. We've got over 100 in stock, the absolute best selection in Eastern North Carolina. Buy a new Ram now and get 20% off MSRP. Better hurry. East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep. Can see it. Across from the Cracker Barrel in Greenville.
To see the huge inventory online, visit ecauto.com.
My prescription refills.
My son's shot records.
My doctor's appointments.
My lab results.
My parents' care.
My chart.
Vidant My Chart.
Vidant My Chart is the secure online patient portal that lets you manage your health your way. Visit VidantMyChart.com or call 1-855-MyVidant to learn how you can sign up.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and work week daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit TopDogOnline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs.
Talk of the town at 6 minutes in front of 9 o'clock. Just enough time to check in with Trent McGee and sports. What you got, McGee?
All right, Pitt County Schools announced Tuesday night that they will be closed all week long, wiping out all athletic events scheduled for the week for the county's 6 public high schools. Baseball from last night, Cubs rallied to beat the Giants 6-5 to move on to their second consecutive National League Championship Series. Cubs play the winner of the Washington Nationals and LA Dodgers series, which is tied at 2 games apiece. And earlier on Tuesday, 49ers head coach Chip Kelly announcing that Colin Kaepernick will be named the starting quarterback, or has been named the starting quarterback for the 49ers game against Buffalo on Sunday.
No kidding.
Blaine Gabbert's struggling right now. He's struggling. So
San Francisco just can't figure it out.
No, they can't. They're 1-4 going into Sunday's game.
I hate to see him get rewarded. But again, it speaks to what Logan says. In the NFL, it's about winning. It's about the paycheck. It doesn't matter what they do before or after the game.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
All right, sports update brought to you by Suddenlink, and Suddenlink has a great event going on right now called the Go Switch event, and you can switch your Suddenlink TV and internet right now. If you switch to Suddenlink internet and TV, you're going to get access to hundreds of TV shows, video on demand, pay-per-view, and of course the fastest internet you're going to find anywhere. You can get 50 meg internet for just $39.95 a month. Go switch to Suddenlink. Call 866-432-1184. Visit Suddenlink.com. And don't forget, you get unlimited data plans, incredible speed, and unlimited data at incredible prices. 866-432-1184. That is the number to call, and you will be able to get this great deal for just $39.95 a month. 50 meg internet. A lot of great movies on demand right now, too. In fact, the debut yesterday of Hillary's America, The Secret History of the Democratic Party, is now showing along with the new Ghostbusters movie, video on demand from Suddenlink. Thanks to all our guests this morning. Don't forget the food drive on Albemarle Drive this morning starting at 9. Thanks to John Hood. Everyone have a great day and stay safe out there. We'll see you tomorrow.
We're setting prices way back at Greenville Toyota. Camrys, not $20,000, just $16,900. That's Camrys. Fallback price, $16,900. Plus, get our advantage during the Fallback Savings event at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
Every wireless provider has towers in the city, but US Cellular put towers in places the other guys didn't. So you can video chat at your secret fishing spot or stream way out here. Because US Cellular thinks you deserve a signal that works wherever you are. US Cellular, a stronger signal in the middle of anywhere.
Visit Real Wireless, your local US Cellular authorized agent in Ahoskie, Williamston, and Windsor for the best deals in wireless and great service on a network that works in the middle of anywhere.
Pitt County has a strong voice in Raleigh, and it belongs to State Representative Dr. Greg Murphy. As the only medical doctor in the state legislature, Dr. Greg Murphy is using his decades of real-world experience to help find common-sense solutions that protect our hospital, our schools, and our university. That's why so many of your friends and neighbors are saying it's good to have a doctor in the house. Dr. Greg Murphy for NC House.
There's a new car dealership in Washington, and you've got to see the all-new Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram located on Highway 264. I'm Matthew Sessons, General Manager at the new Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We're proud to provide Eastern North Carolina with a state-of-the-art facility, a huge selection of new cars and trucks, and a reliable service department.
Stop in to see us for Ram Power Days and get 20% off select Ram trucks at the all-new Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and WashingtonChrysler.com.
That's a tough shot. You're right. Can't bear to look. This must be what Luke Kuechly feels like when he takes the field.
Man, this is what Kevin must have felt like when he switched that game winner.
Look for limited edition Pepsi Panthers cans and packaging in stores now. Pepsi, official soft drink of the Carolina Panthers.
We're setting prices way back at Greenville Toyota. Camrys, not $20,000, just $16,900. That's Camrys. Fallback price, $16,900. Plus, get our advantage during the Fallback Savings event at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
Hometown station.